What's up guys, it's Shelly. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, what's up? I'm Shelly. Welcome to my channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into today's video because just like you guys, I also hate pointless long intros. So today I'm gonna be doing a review and full day wear test of the Kevyn Aucoin Foundation Balm. It's actually the end of the day. I've already done this test. You're gonna see a lot of information in this video, but it's all about this bad boy today. So if you guys are considering purchasing this product, go ahead and watch the rest of my video to see what the claims are, how it applies, how it wears, and what my full end of the day opinion review is. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and bust into the Kevyn Aucoin Foundation Balm. So this product retails for $52, which I would say that is kind of high average for these types of foundations. The range is really like $45 to $55, so this is kind of like right on the higher end of that scale. It comes with 0.7 ounces of product. Comparing that to an average liquid foundation, they usually have about 1 fluid ounce. So this product is a little more expensive and it has a little less product in it. It does come with a brush, so anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the claims that are on this box. So it says, the foundation balm leaves skin looking visibly smoother, more even toned, and imparts a virtually bare, brave, beautiful canvas. Okay, so the word bare is a big claim for me because it makes me think that it's going to look just like my skin, but nicer. And anybody knows, like if you are in this foundation game, if you wear foundation, you know that that's a big, big claim for foundations. Next, it says it has skin pampering ingredients that will enhance the luster of natural skin. Apply this with the foundation brush to instantly even out complexion with a full coverage finish. Okay, so this foundation is full coverage, evens out skin tone, improves your natural luster, and is virtually bare on your face. So those are the claims. So for me, that's not a whole lot of claims for a foundation. Usually they also talk about the longevity or how long you can wear it and also how it feels on the skin. And I don't know about you guys, but I like my foundations to be long wearing and lightweight. And this foundation doesn't claim any of those things. So I guess if it doesn't wear long and if it is heavy, technically, they didn't claim. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the box. So this is what it looks like. It has a brush in here, surprisingly. I was like, did they forget my brush? But it's this cute little tiny brush. So for a brush that's coming with the product, this is actually really nice. The handle, the whole thing just feels really like good quality. The bristles are super soft and it's nice and dense. So this is going to definitely be a good brush for buffing in any foundations, even liquid foundations. So I am going to give this a 10 out of 10 for being an in-product brush because usually, you know, they're kind of like whatever. And then we have the product inside like this, and it just comes in a packaging like this. Nothing special, nothing crazy. It's just like a typical balm packaging. So the night that this came in the mail, I actually tried it on because I thought I ordered the wrong color and I wanted to make sure I had the right color before I did this video. Turns out it's fine, but I only had it on for like 20 minutes, so I really don't have an opinion of it. I was just honestly testing out the color. I mentioned that because when I show you the product, it's got a bunch of brush marks on it, but it looks like this. For those of you who have a similar complexion to mine, I got the color medium FB 7.5. This is on their neutral side of their swatch palette or whatever. I typically run in neutrals. I'll link different foundations in the description box below and what colors I use if you guys are trying to use me in this video as a color reference. But yeah, so I ordered mine in the medium FB 7.5 and I think that this works out pretty well for me. All right, so let's go ahead and pull the camera closer so you guys can see my skin and all the things that we are trying to correct on it and give this foundation a test. All right, so we are now up close and personal with my bare face. Let's go ahead and point out all my imperfections. That way we can see exactly how this foundation fixes it. So what better day? So I have this, you know, a pimple. I have this pimple that I was picking at, so it's really red. I also got headbutted a month ago on accident, and I have these scars that created these lacerations, but they're still red. So I have these scars across my forehead. Hopefully this foundation will cover that up really easily. I also have like yellowing under my eyes. I have this vein here. I typically run red on my cheeks, as you guys can see. Also a little bit of yellowing and darkness around my mouth. and these red veins under my nose. And then lastly, I have some dark hyperpigmentation spots from like previous acne on my chin. Then last, let's go ahead and check out my textural issues. So as you guys can see when we get up close, I do have fine lines on my forehead. Oh my God, I can't believe I showed you guys that. But, so I have fine lines on my forehead and I wanna see how this foundation works with that, because I can only assume a balm might be cakey up there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into actually applying this foundation. So right now I've just washed my face and I've moisturized. I don't have any primer or anything like that on. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna apply primer to this half of my face and then leave this half by itself, because I know not everybody uses primer. So I wanna see how this foundation works. I'm just going to be looking for how well it covers first. Oh, that looks like a lot. All right, so I have that much product on. I don't truly know how full coverage this is, but I'm gonna figure it out now. So I'm just going to stamp and, okay, it looks really full coverage. So I'm gonna try and do this whole side with just that. All right, so up close and personal, it doesn't look cakey at all. It does seem to look a bit bare with just one pass. I do want to note though that my skin is doing really well moisture wise. Like it's very smooth, it's supple right now. It doesn't have any dry patches. As far as coverage, I can still see some of my sunspots here under my eye and a little bit of that blue vein. So I'm gonna go ahead and test out its buildability and do one more coat where I think it needs a little bit more coverage, like under my eye right there. And I do see a little tiny bit of redness on my cheek, so I'm gonna do this. Okay. One thing I will note is I don't like how I feel like I'm tugging on my skin by buffing it out. You know, skincare, we're not supposed to be pulling on our skin too much, and I do feel like I'm doing that because it's a little thick. It doesn't feel thick. Okay, that's the other thing. It doesn't feel thick, but like spreading it around, it's a little thick. All right, so the scar by my eyebrow is missing. Wow. Okay, so it covered that up really well. All right, so here I am with this side covered and this side is free. As you guys can see, it really did even out my skin tone. One coat, I think, is a nice bare looking coverage without looking cakey, but it wasn't super full coverage. And as far as buildability, I think that after I applied it, it still looks pretty nice. It's not caking up at all or looking too thick, and it did cover more. I like that it did cover my scar right here with one pass. Now let me get up close and let's see what it looks like with them fine lines. I mean, honestly, my fine lines just look bad, but it doesn't look any different. You know what I mean? It doesn't look any worse. Like, this side is still bad and that side is still bad, but it's not like more bad. So on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Benefit Porefessional Primer. This is a texture and pore primer. So maybe this will help with my fine lines, but I don't know. But we're gonna see what it does for this foundation. Is it gonna make it wear longer? Is it gonna make it look nicer? That's what we're gonna figure out right now. Let's really press these into them lines, girl. All right, so my primer is on. Let's go ahead and see what that does for this foundation. So I'm once again just going to pick some product up. I'm gonna just swirl it around 1.5 times, get this much, and just start applying. There, you saw what it did for that pimple. Okay, well, as you blend it out, it's starting to show back up a little bit, obviously. All right, so I've applied the foundation to all of my face. This side, no primer, this side, primer. I'm looking at it in my mirror up close, and I don't see any difference so far with the primer and without it. They look pretty much the same. You guys can be the judge of my fine lines. All right. Still looks bad. But I will say that my skin is looking pretty bare. I mean, yeah, it looks pretty skin-like. It looks really natural to me. So I'm actually really pleasantly surprised because a balm, you know, it could be pretty thick. I was a little worried it was gonna be thick, but it isn't. It's not sticky. It feels powdery. It doesn't feel like you need to set it, but I'm going to, just because I'm gonna be doing other liquid products. And as you guys saw when I applied it, it really covered up like a lot of my redness. It covered up my scar, well, that's still there. Let's see if we can build it up. Let's kind of stipple it instead of blending and then blend out the edges. How about that? Yeah, there you go. So as you guys can see, it really does cover. It's easy to use. The only thing that I don't love about it, like I mentioned when applying it, is that I do feel like I'm tugging on my skin because it's a little thick to blend out. And that's kind of a big concern for me just because I don't want to pre-age my skin, you know? But I'm gonna go ahead and finish my makeup off camera, and then I'm gonna come back and we'll do the full day wear test. Today I have a busy day, so it's gonna be a great day to test out the wearability of this foundation. All right guys, so I am back with the rest of my makeup on, as you guys can see, and as I was applying the rest of my makeup in my bathroom lighting, I did notice that the finish of the foundation was just a lot more dry. It was kind of powdery slash dusty, if that makes sense. It didn't really pick up in my studio lights, but in my bathroom lighting, it definitely looked a lot different than I thought it was going to, and I also feel like it's going to look dry slash powdery out in the daylight. So I'm definitely going to include some different lighting footage so you guys can see exactly how this foundation wears in different lights and all that sorts of stuff. And then the other thing that was really disappointing that I noticed was when I was applying the rest of my makeup, my bronzer, if you guys can see here, the pimple is pretty much almost completely visible again, and it was getting kind of trapped around the dry spots of the pimple, which doesn't really happen with my favorite foundation, but that definitely means that it's not stay in place, it's not long wearing, and I'm just kind of disappointed because it is so early on in the review and it's already doing this number. I tend to touch my face a lot throughout the day, so I can only imagine like what my face is going to look like, but we will see. So it's 10:53, we'll go about the day and I'll check in a few hours, but yeah, so this is it so far. Okay guys, so this is what the foundation looks like in natural lighting. I'm just standing in front of my window. There's no direct sunlight. The sun is still pretty low in the sky. I don't know, it's not super bright outside, so I'm standing in what I would consider the shade. It's just been applied, so here we go. You can see that my scar is starting to poke through and my pimple is also poking through, and I've only had this on for about a half hour. Okay, so I think that we just found out that this is not an event foundation because that flashback, this is natural lighting. I mean, I do kind of think the foundation is light a little bit, but I think the flash really kind of, I don't know, I just kind of had higher expectations. All right, so I just got back from running around. I went to the thrift store, I went to the fabric store, I was driving around, it was hot, blah, blah, blah. It is now 1:25. Let's go ahead and check this update. Okay, so my oils are definitely starting to break through on my T-zone. I see a little bit of it like breaking down on my nose. I'm not sure if the camera's gonna pick it up. All right, and then also around the corners of my nose, we're getting really itchy. I don't know if that's because I don't know if like I'm having like an itchy reaction. It's just a little itchy. But like around my nose has just been like a little itchy. I don't know if it's just like one of the ingredients that irritates my skin. It's nothing super serious, but I have been scratching kind of like right here, and I can see that it's like breaking down around my nose. Maybe you can see that. 3.5-ish hours in, pimples showing, scar is covered-ish, but showing, and it's breaking down, and I'm starting to actually oil up. So my T-zone is starting to get pretty oily. I'm not feeling very hopeful for the next check-in, but we will see. The rest of my face, like all of this area, seems to be fine. But yeah, so that is the first check-in, and I will continue to check in with you guys throughout the day. Okay guys, so this is going to be my last check-in for the night. It is 6:49. I really want to get this foundation off of my face. It feels not great. I haven't checked it out yet, so I'm going to go ahead and check it out with you, but I can only imagine from our last check-in and that whole situation. Okay. All right, so I think it's been around the 8-ish hours of wearing this foundation. I've literally done what I normally would do with my regular foundation. So yeah, I am so sad, but I have to say, I don't like this foundation. And normally I would find something good to say about a foundation, but I knew from the beginning when after 15 minutes this pimple came through before even going through the wear test, I just knew it was going to be a disaster. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So first of all, I don't know if you guys can see, but my face, like all of this, is incredibly greasy. My skin is not oily right now. I kind of am going through a really good skin moment where it's not too greasy, it's not too dry, but this foundation is really oiling up and it's starting to separate and break down on my nose. You guys know the look. It's an embarrassing look, and that's happening. Somehow it looks like all my bronzer got moved up onto my forehead right here because I don't know. I think, okay, half of it's missing from my chin. Must be from when I was sitting like this. Like I mentioned earlier, I touch my face a lot. And so it definitely has to transfer. And I changed. So it might be on my other shirt. I'm not sure. I can go look. Overall, this is just such a flop for me. I am so disappointed. I was so excited to try this. I really thought the concept was so cool. I heard Kevyn Aucoin has amazing products. I've actually never tried any of his products until right this moment. So I'm just like, why did it have to not be as great as I heard? But like I did mention in the beginning, Kevyn Aucoin Foundation Balm did not claim to be long wearing or lightweight or not to transfer. I knew from the beginning when it said only 3 claims, which is basically just being full coverage and evening out skin tones, I knew it wasn't going to be amazing because most foundations usually have this long list of claims saying it's long wearing, non-transfer, non-smudge, non-changing colors, full coverage, buildable, X, Y, and Z, A, B, C, all the way to Z. But this one only had 3 true claims, and that was the first red flag for me. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say I don't recommend this at all. Don't even bother wasting your time. And I really hate saying that because they gifted it to me, but Kevyn Aucoin, I have to be real with my audience, and it just, wow. Alright guys, well that concludes my review and wear test of the Kevyn Aucoin Foundation Balm. Unfortunately, it's a no. If you guys want to check out any of my other foundation wear tests and reviews, they will all be linked in the description box down below, as well as in a card somewhere on the screen. If you guys haven't done so already, don't forget to click subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss any more of my videos. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, send it to somebody before they go buy this because, again, I don't like it. So yeah, okay, well, I don't know, how do I end these things? Oh, and of course, just like always, until next time, bye guys.